my trip to Bosnia reduced my freedoms a little bit. I went to Bosnia. Didn't you know that? My imaginary trip to Bosnia. And I lost some of my freedoms. Hi. I haven't been hiding. I've been busy making you coffee. Here you go. Yes. Did you miss me? Well, I missed you. Yeah, according to the world, or Big Brother, or whatever we call this thing out here that connects us, said I was in Bosnia, and I couldn't figure it out. I thought, Bosnia? Why does it say I'm in Bosnia? Well, I didn't even know that it said I was in Bosnia for about a week. My first clue was I looked on my Amazon Prime to watch a movie, and it said, traveling? Here's a list of movies that you can watch while you're abroad. And I'm like, I'm not traveling. Am I traveling? Well, it was really only this phone that, I got that message on Amazon Prime. The phone that I use for my camera that I'm looking at right now, and you're in there. I'm looking at you. Remember? Oh, I don't have one. Hold up. Remember on Romper Room where they're looking in that mirror? Oh, yeah, looking in that mirror. Which reminds me, a side note, Erica Wandering with Wanda is requesting a shout out. So Erica Wandering with Wanda. Hi. Hello. We see you out there. Yes, I see all of you out there. Isn't that weird? But it is working. Remember I talked about I needed a back scratcher? This one is working. And I will mention the other side, I guess this is a shoehorn. Like I'm going to scratch my back and then put this in my foot, right? But I put some lotion on here and I can get it on my back. Okay. So that problem has been solved. But let's solve this problem of going to Bosnia. Let's have a drink. Whew. Okay, but the other phone, my newest phone, was fine. Well, I finally called Amazon Prime. I found a number. Oh my gosh, I found a number. And, I just was so tired of it that it said, these are movies you can watch while you're abroad, right? And I thought, well, I want to watch them all. I want all of them. And then there were a couple other of my apps that I could not get into. It's a good thing that I had this because I was having orders. I could see that I had orders, but it would not let me find out who made the order, what the order was. So I thought, well, this is just nuts. What is going on? I'm losing my freedom. Well, when I talked to Amazon, she told me, do this, do that. Delete the app, reinstall the app. Oh my gosh, oy vey shmia, right? So I did all those things. And then finally she goes, well, where are you? And I said, well, I'm in Arizona in the United States. And she goes, well, it says here you're in Bosnia. Bosnia? Why would I be in Bosnia? So I figured something kind of got messed up there. Well, so she changed it for me, and then it took a good 8 hours for it to change over again. And so now when I look at my Amazon Prime, I can see all the movies that are available to me. But I thought, well, isn't that something? If I was in Bosnia, obviously people in Bosnia can't watch certain movies, right? So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. The movies that they were allowing me to watch, I guess were like real low key. I don't know what the subject matter was different of what I could watch. So then I realized, playing around with it some more, I realized my VPN had me in Bosnia also. So here's the thing. When I used Starlink, I used this phone only. Okay. So I'm going to guess that Starlink put me in Bosnia. Thank you, Starlink. Yeah. And did it cost me a lot? Well, not really. But it does cost you time because you're on the phone. You have to make sometimes multiple phone calls, or they can put you on hold and then you get knocked off, right? Well, time is time is not money, but sometimes it seems like it. So it was just a very big irritation for 2 weeks or a week, I guess, that, yeah, I was in Bosnia. So I looked up, I didn't know that much about Bosnia, so I looked it up. I mean, they do have freedoms, but obviously, they're diminished. So my freedoms were diminished for about 2 weeks. And I'm going to say 2 weeks because once I started using it, it was a week. There was a week I was using Starlink when we were out at Quartzsite. And which I just found out they have changed. It's not called Starlink RV. It's called Starlink Roving. If you're traveling with your Starlink, it's called roaming, Starlink roaming. And they have, a lot of people say, well, it really does work. Just recently, they have diminished. Not only were my freedoms diminished, but they've diminished our load that we can use it. I don't know the proper wording on that, but they have diminished. They've diminished us. We're paying a lot of money. We pay more than any of the other Starlink users, and they've diminished us a bit. So I don't know. Mine's going to be on pause until I start traveling again. So I won't be paying. You don't have to pay per month unless you're using it. Here's the kicker, though. Like, if you say, well, I used it for this month. So I used it from April 21 to March 21. And March 21, I will be cut off. It'll be paused unless I unpause it. But once it goes on pause, I have to wait a whole nother month to unpause it. So I better be sure that I don't need it. So it's kind of like, it would be nice. I mean, wouldn't it be their benefit if I unpaused it sooner? Because then they'll get more money. Right? They'll get money from me in a sooner rate. But, yeah. Well, that's Elon Musk. And I did read about Elon Musk. Yes, I did. I was really surprised about him. I looked up his parents. Gorgeous, gorgeous parents. His mother was a model. Yeah, gorgeous. And the dad's pretty good looking, too. Yeah, the pictures I saw. Yeah, so, and yeah, they're very wealthy. Elon Musk is the second wealthiest man right now on the globe. But last year he was number one. He got knocked down by a Frenchman. Whatever. I know. Some guy who owns luxury goods, he's buying up all the luxury, like Tiffany's, Christian Dior, all the fashion names, and all luxury. And he's worth quite a bit. Can you imagine even having $1 billion? Well, the top guy, and he has like 200 and some $billion, 1,000 billion or whatever. That didn't make sense, did it? But it's early in the morning, right? You know me. You missed me. I know. Let's have another sip. So yeah, my imaginary trip to Bosnia caused me a headache and caused me time. Thank you, Starlink. Thank you, Elon. You asked me to review it, and I did. So I'm still reviewing it. And quit knocking me out of my country. Quit taking my freedoms away. Okay, that's enough. Another subject I wanted to talk about, and I just got a message again about it. Well, if you have vertigo, then why isn't your license taken away? Oh, pish posh. Okay, before you comment, it's a really good idea to actually listen and watch the movie. I had vertigo once. It was years ago. I said that when I explained it, I said I've heard of people that have vertigo all the time. Yeah, I could see that. But how do you prove that you don't? That'd be like having a heart condition. Well, if you have a heart condition, what if your heart stops while you're driving? Oh my gosh, and I've heard of people doing that. They just have a heart attack and they plow into people. Well, what if the vertigo does leave? Then you got it. How do you prove that the vertigo isn't there anymore and get your license back? It's kind of weird. This is a good question. I mean, I don't want people with vertigo out there driving, but I think we should have because somebody with vertigo doesn't have vertigo every day, and so I think that we're old enough to know that if we do have vertigo, well, we probably shouldn't drive. It'd be like drinking. If you're an alcoholic, you're an alcoholic. You take their license away. Well, if you get caught drunk driving, yeah. If you get caught with vertigo and you're driving, yeah. But do you see where I'm going? Maybe I'm not going anywhere with this, but I did want to talk about vertigo. Some of you have, and I'm so happy, have never had vertigo. And what it was explained to me is that there are these chemicals in our body that have to be the perfect solution. Yes, it has to be perfect. The percentage of this, percentage of that. And the chemical solution of everything in like with vertigo, it's an inner ear thing. It has to be perfect, but it's ever so small. It's just like a drop of the end of a pin, that it's that much. It has to be this perfect percentage of a solution. Well, if you get vertigo, that means it's an imbalance in the solution in your inner ear. And so what happens is you're not balanced. Yes. And it becomes like, woo, like spinning. Yeah. And it's hard to walk. I couldn't even imagine why anybody would get behind a wheel if they had vertigo. And if they do get vertigo while they're driving, they know enough they can feel it coming on, and they'll stop the car and pull over and make a phone call and say, hey, come help me. Well, that's why I say, if you're a nomad, and I have mentioned this, that if you have vertigo on a regular basis, do not become a nomad. Oh my gosh, no. You're going to need to be in a regular house, sticks and bricks, where you're not going to be out on the road and things like that. And it would be miserable anyways. So, and the whole question came up because somebody asked me if I would ever want to go out into outer space. And I said, no, I would not, because I've had vertigo and I've had it once. Please don't take my license away because of it. I find it interesting that, as human beings, sometimes we take things to the extreme. It's like some people do it. They worst case scenario. Okay, when everybody must lose their license or whatever. Let's get a grip, everybody. I know. Anyways, yeah, so vertigo is a very serious thing. Now, some of you left comments on vertigo and you explained your experience. And then on one of them, I explained mine. And yeah, it's a devastating situation to have something in your inner ear, the chemical imbalance, because you feel it coming on and you start losing your balance. I remember walking down my hallway in my house, and I walked down the hallway, and all of a sudden I was like, I thought, what's happening? I've never had it before. It's like, what is happening? And I could not, like, I went to take a step, but I was stumbling. It was like being drunk, but it was in the morning, but I wasn't drunk. And I was like being drunk, but it's almost like, and then when things spin, it makes you want to, your stomach, your eyes are like spinning. And it made me want to felt like I wanted to vomit, because it was making everything dizzy. So anyways, once my daughter got me there, I could barely walk. I almost had to crawl. She lived beside me and I almost had to crawl. Okay. I had to go outside, and one of you said, yes, you had to crawl, and you were stuck driving. You pulled off the road. You were stuck driving, and you had to, what was it? You asked your family to come help you, but they wouldn't. And so you had to get external help to get your car home and get you home. If you have vertigo, there's no way you can drive. There's just no way. But I did mention that I also get seasick. I went on that whaling 2 years ago. I went on the whaling boat when I was on the coast, Pacific coast, with Paul, and everybody was fine. Me, I was in the with my head down in living hell. I felt like I knew it was going to be over at some point, so it was okay. But I was just so sick, and my eyes didn't work. So no, I wouldn't want to go out into outer space. But yeah. So vertigo is a real thing, and I pray nobody ever gets it. But it is it is incredible how our body works. It's a very intricate machine, and we need everything to be balanced. It's like I learned in college. I have a bachelor's in psychology and sociology both. And what happens, and we learned about, of course, abnormal psychology and disorders, personality disorders, but schizophrenia is another one. There's a chemical imbalance somewhere in the brain, whether it's there's different areas of the brain, the hippocampus and the hypothalamus, and there's all different areas, but there are chemical imbalances that happen, and you literally can become schizophrenic, which means, and there's all different types of schizophrenia, catatonic, paranoia, there's all different kinds. I can't remember all of them, but it's from a chemical imbalance. That a little droplet of something in your brain gets off balance, and it can be hereditary, and it's just, so I guess the point of this is, and what we can do, is become very grateful for our health. When we have everything working in balance and in proper coordination and percentage of solutions in our body, let's all be grateful. Let's just be grateful, for what we have. And so many of us, another thing that I like to be grateful for, I think about this. I think, my children are so healthy. My grandchildren are so healthy. There's balances of solutions in their body, right? Wow. I mean, I am so grateful for all of that. So let's just be grateful today. I'm grateful that I have my freedoms back, and that I'm back from Bosnia. I'll be checking my VPN and where it says I'm at. Yeah. I'm grateful for a lot of things. I'm grateful for you, and I'm grateful to bring you some Chit Chat and some coffee. We can share coffee. So I love you guys. And if you want to go to minivanlee.com, I appreciate it. I've got neck gaiters. I've got, the black are going really fast. I've only got a few left. So please, if you really want that. And believe it or not, I only have a few glasses left. So, go there if you're interested in that. Shimogs, I have about 4 shimogs left. Protect your hair. And this summer, being outside in the sun, the UV rays really it does, and it can, and it will strip our hair, girls, and guys, what it will do if you don't wear the hats or protect your head, and it will burn your scalp. And so you don't, wear your hats, everybody. And girls, if you want to look fashionable, to protect all of your hair, shimogs work too. And then I've got the book, How to Live in a Minivan, the Minivan Lee Way. Yeah. So, and then of course, exercise. Oh yeah. I'm about to get ready and go to the gym. So I'm going to end this now so I can finish this, get dressed, get everything going, and go to the gym. And I'm going to work out. I've really been working out. Now, one of you had mentioned, your comment, I had to figure out, what are you talking about? Sometimes if you leave a comment, explain like what you mean. You know what you mean in your mind. But I do talk about different things in my video. And sometimes and you said, no, that's not true. You can't reduce, you can't spot reduce. I'm like, did I talk about like something, I was going to put something, there's a spot and I was going to get rid, and oh, she's talking about that. No, I mean, yeah, you can't just lose weight. You're going to lose weight in funny places, but you can work out. And if you can replace and get some muscle structure going, yes, you can. You can target spots. You can target them. If I'm really working out and I've been adding a lot of back and getting my back, of course I can work on different areas. If I just do machines that are going to work on my legs, well, that's working on my legs, right? I'm kind of spot building up. And so in a way, it's reducing the fat in an area, right? Right. So there's that. And I'm going to go spot reduce at the gym. I'm going to go spot reduce some fat areas, right? I love you guys. Bye.